Hi guys and girls, I'm Obsidian Ant and welcome back to Everspace.
Another vision. Maybe more clues. There was a high-ranking colonial commander.
Do you recall the name?
He was an admiral, by the name of Gork.
Yes. Kryn Gork is a rather powerful figure in the fleet.
Okay, so the plot thickens.
The plot thickens indeed. So, Sector 5. I believe this is the final sector. I have no idea yet how far through I've managed to get. This is the furthest I've ever made it in the game, by the way. And of course I'm playing here with the Encounters expansion, which gives me access to this new ship. The weapon seems less effective this far into the game. I'm actually want to target this ship. How many missiles have I got? Oh, these are destabilizer missiles. And my hull is getting a little bit too low. I don't want to go into that minefield though. Right. Oh dear. Look, we don't want these. Can I scrap them? Now I can salvage them. We want some regular light missiles. Unfortunately, we can't build too many of them. What a nuisance. I hope I don't get caught this early on. That would be a real shame. I literally only just made it out this way. As you saw. Right. And closing in. Let's hope the shield recharges. There we go. Come on, come on, come on, come on. And the other trouble is with this energy weapon, the lightning gun, or the lightning cannon. Yeah, lightning gun, is the sheer amount of energy that it actually uses, and part of that is down to the form of upgrades I've put on it. So that does cause me some issues here. But I guess I've gone far enough that they'll leave me alone for the moment. I'd like to use those missiles, but I'm going to save them. So he's got a forward-facing shield, which is giving him, which is really helping him out. No, actually, they all have forward-facing shields. No wonder I was having trouble with these. So what you need to do is try and get behind them. But this weapon uses so much energy, and that's what's causing me some problems here. Right, so we've got the outlaw fighters, which are probably going to come straight after me now, but hopefully they've got different types of shield. Yeah, they haven't got forward-facing shields like the other guys. Cool, that was close, wasn't it? Ship component overheated. One of your ship's main components has been overheated by external influences and won't be fully functional until the effect wears off. Hopefully nothing too serious. Let's have a look. Oh, the shield generator. It would be, wouldn't it? And I don't think we're going to have the ability to build any more missiles just yet. So waiting for this energy weapon to charge up again. Got to evade the fire until that point. And this guy's shield is going to probably be fully charged by then. See, what happens here is that a lot of the capacitor actually gets used up by draining the shields at this point, which is a little bit of a nuisance. We've nearly got him. Kind of a weird weapon that one used there. It was like a sort of mortar, wasn't it? Coming up and over at me. Which is a strange effect to see in space. Alright. Now I might consider swapping the weapon out if I come across a decent one. Because the lightning gun is causing me more trouble than it's actually worth at this point. At least that's how I feel about that. There must be some more resources nearby. Perhaps I've collected them without realising it. Let's go over here and see what we can pick up. So, this is one of the new features for the... What we've got up there? Mineable scrap. Oh, we have got a few things laying around. So the facility over there is one of the new features for the Encounters expansion. I do believe I've shown it before in a previous video, but you don't come across them that often. And they are the larger facilities. I'm going to take a screenshot here, as I often like to do this sort of thing. And you'll probably see it as a thumbnail further into the game. So, yeah, what this allows you to do... Threat detected, no service. So I was going to say what this allows you to do is tune up your ship and do various other upgrades, but it looks like that's not going to be happening just yet. They're attacking the facility itself.
That's an interesting life form. What is it?
Curiously, I have no data about it.
So I assume it's not talking about the ship we're all attacking here. I wonder what he was talking about there. What the heck?
Well, that was another valuable lesson learned.
That happened too quick, didn't it?
Should not deal damage to the large grey entity as it deals it back.
Wonder what I actually ended up shooting there. What a shame. Got a long way there and wanted to try and complete that, really. So, yeah, difficulty was on easy there. I believe I talked about that before we did this particular playthrough. But there we go. What's this? 85 minutes to get there. So not too bad all in all. We got 11,000, but it does mean we're back to the start yet again. But we're not going to be using the Sentinel. It's a ship I don't mind, actually. It's a fairly good ship, but my favourite is still the Interceptor by a long way. I mean, of course, we could... let's have a look. We could see about putting a second primary weapon on there, I guess. If there's the ability to do that. But regardless, I want the Interceptor. Okay, so let's spend some of this 11,000. The secondary weapon slots. What was we in the middle of upgrading the last time through? Let's keep going with this. Hull repairs. Oh, it's actually used all my money up. Hull repairs always a handy thing to have. Right. We'll go for normal again, I guess. And off we go, back to the depths of Sector 1. Dark space here. So yeah, a little bit of a letdown to be caught out that early on. I didn't even see what entity they were talking about. I guess the guy actually said, what type of life form is that? There was some sort of bubbles there, almost looked like grey bubbles that I saw nearby, and I guess I was actually shooting at that without actually realising I was shooting at it. I was trying to destroy the outlaws, but he saw how quick it actually damaged my ship. Very effective, very powerful.
Intercepted.
We're back to the easier to deal with ships for now. And I've got my favourite weapons, a Gatling gun and the pulse laser. Oh, well, we got ourselves a new blueprint. Probably tend not to use the blueprints anywhere near enough as I should. Excuse me. And we have got, you can see I've put quite a lot of upgrades into this ship. We can have 3 weapons, we got 2 secondary weapons, we got spare slot for the devices as well as the consumables. So yeah, I don't really want to start out with another ship just yet. The Sentinel was very nice, but I think I'm going to do better by sticking with this ship. And it seems to be able to maintain its thrust a lot longer than the Sentinel. That seemed to drain down pretty darn quickly. What have we got here then? Oh, some nanobots. And you know, one thing I did forget about during those fights with the Sector 5 is I did have a
direct monetary reward for your endeavors.
I did have a EMP device, and I should have used that a few times, especially on the early stages of combat when I was trying to shoot those ships with the forward-facing shields. The EMP device would have come in very, very handy there. There we go, we live and we learn. Over here we've got all the various people I've met so far, and the missions are actually persistent, which is very interesting. When you encounter these guys, they'll give you a mission, and that mission will carry over even when you die. So it is a roguelike game. You lose everything you've built up, you lose your progress in terms of your position, but your perks do stay with you, and any missions you pick up from encounters also stay with you. But upgrades I build from these elements here, they get lost. So perhaps not as true a roguelike as some games out there, because you obviously don't lose everything. But then again, most roguelikes, you do build up your character as you go. Rogue Legacy is one of my favourite examples of that. Rogue Legacy never gets old. Played that quite a bit. Certainly picking up a lot of blueprints. Makes me wonder if a whole batch of new ones have been released. He was evading the weapons fire there pretty well, wasn't he? But it's not going to do him much good, because he's now done with. Right, quick bit of exploring, and then we can move on to the next zone. I was just going to say, I thought I heard turrets. Fired 2 missiles at both of those, didn't I? Yes. They didn't
You're drawing fire.
Didn't fully take the turrets out. Oh, he crashed into an asteroid. Well done. That's normally the sort of thing I do. Right, so let's see what this container's all about. Where is it though? Inside? Through here perhaps? Oh. Boom. I love these sort of areas. You can imagine some sort of base much larger than this and being able to do a Star Wars-like trench run. That'd be pretty interesting, wouldn't it? maybe one day. There's a lot of updates that keep coming out from this game, so you never know. Anything's possible. The structures also keep getting bigger, although a Death Star sized structure would be pretty large, wouldn't it? Okay, time to head off. First things first, let's see if we can, not from that menu, we won't be able to, but let's see if we can do any upgrades. Usually the Gatling gun or the pulse laser, and nope, because we've got no upgrade icons here, unfortunately. Just not enough resources this early on. Or at least not without extensive searching, I guess. Yeah, you really picked on the wrong guys with shooting these. Interesting effect. Oh, gone. I was just about to say an interesting effect on the back there, but it was charging up its jump drive. Oh, and there we go. This is for one of those. Hey, don't bought the scan. What happened? Got too far away. Right, so this is for one of those missions I was talking about when we saw the guys on the map screen. One of them actually wanted me to scan alien entities, and they're not all that common. Though I guess if I spent a bit more time actually looking for them, I might see them. So will this count as a third one? Trouble is, it's the same type of alien life, and it may not scan it again. Oh no, it's scanning it again. I wonder if it'll count. Yeah, there we go. So I did get 300 credits there. I assume that's a reward for completing the scans. I don't know if I'll bump into the guy again to hand the data over. I can't even remember which one it was that gave me that particular mission. So there's a bunch of those different people. Some of them are very alien. I have a feeling it was one of the aliens who was some sort of xenobiologist, I think. A scientist. I'm sure it was him who asked me to go scanning all the aliens over here, the alien life. There was a robot. I can't remember what he wanted. I think the robot might have been a bounty hunter. Been a while since I encountered them last, and I don't know if you can actually... There we go. An Okar trader named Tareen offered me a business opportunity, but first I need to prove my worth. Should I pay Maurice a visit and collect my reward? Oh, I should, yes. I should return to Throng for my reward. I should pay Elric a visit and see if he needs my help so I can get the missions again. So, yeah, these ones we need to visit to collect our rewards, as it says there. Star map. But they're obviously further in, so we're not going to be able to just meet up with them right here. We need to find them or locate them. Nearly missed a bit of plasma there. So I might leave in a minute. We've got plenty of mineable crystals around here, but there's other resources I want beyond that. Oh, we got some hostiles. We got him! Come on! Let's use a missile. So as I always say, those drones deal so much energy damage or weapon damage. Whereas they're basically glass cannons, they don't put up to much damage at all. 1 or 2 bullets usually finishes them off. Thought I heard other weapons fire. It must have been from the G&B fighters around here. Nice new ship colour. Although not particularly pleasant colour there. Right then, time to head on out. I think that's where we'll leave it for this episode. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys and girls next time.